Good morning, my fellow Canadians. Well, so much to unpack with what's been going on internationally, but mainly here in Canada, that I'm just shaking my head. Today, I saw a repost of the testimony given by Susana Hups Garcia to her legislative body regarding a shooting in Texas. It's an old post, but it's as germane today as it was when it was first posted. We're back to the issue of firearms and public safety. Trudeau's overreach, Trudeau's cabinet's overreach on their assault, literally an assault on firearms owners. And I keep hearing the same rhetoric. I keep hearing public safety being put forward as the underlying motivator for all this legislation. And it frustrates me because I even hear this from firearms owners. And they're fighting the liberal fight. You're fighting your opponent's fight. And I keep trying to tell people, even, like I said, within the firearms community, forget the words public safety. It has nothing to do with public safety. Public safety is not the issue. This is the mask. This is the cover story the liberals and the prostitutes in the mainstream media put out. It has nothing to do with public safety. I cannot emphasize this too strongly. Anybody with any degree of ability in fact-finding, in research, in objective study, looks at this public safety. It's nothing to do with public safety. It is a disarmament agenda. That is the agenda. The Liberals under Pierre Trudeau started this, and it's being continued by the current Liberal Party. It is an attempt to disarm the Canadian people. End of story. Once you get over that, you realize facts, data, evidence, common sense, logic, none of this matters to the liberal and their mindless minions. None of that matters. They don't care. And I keep seeing firearms owners and firearms advocacy groups attempting to bring logic and reason and common sense and facts and data into the discussion. The liberals don't care. They don't care about any of that. It is nothing to do with any of those things. It is a disarmament agenda. So to argue it or to attempt to respond as an issue of public safety is stupidity. It's nothing to do with public safety. Hammer that point home, please, for the love of God, if you're going to get into conversations or discussions or debates with the anti-firearms crowd. This has to be put forward. Anybody who looks at things reasonably, logically, realizes this. Every totalitarian regime in history, the first thing they did was disarm the population. Hitler's famous line, and it's perfect: private ownership of firearms does not serve the state. Stalin disarmed the people in the Soviet Union, the citizens of the Soviet Union, ensuring only the authorities, his authorities, had firearms. Mao disarmed the Chinese civilian population. The Ayatollahs disarmed the Iranian population. Every totalitarian regime disarms its citizenry as a prelude to overt totalitarianism, to overt dictatorship. This is fact, proven time and time again. Public safety. Britain, perfect example. Again, back to the logic, back to evidence. The crime rate in Britain, and even the gun crime rate in Britain, since they brought in all that draconian overreach in their absolutely over-the-top anti-firearms legislation, the crime rate in Britain has risen, and so has firearm crime. Surprise, surprise. Australia, same thing. Since their knee-jerk response to the tragedy of that mass shooting in Australia, and again, just like Britain, this massive overreach, the crime rate in Australia is insane. Disarm the population and you empower the criminal element. You give them carte blanche. In a way, it's almost a recap of things I've said in previous posts. That as a nation, if you're truly interested in public safety, all the evidence and fact shows that where citizens, good people have the right to carry, own, possess, carry a firearm, the crime rate plummets. This is factual. Data proves this, and not pro-firearm data. Data, facts. Again, data, facts, common sense, logic, reason, none of this matters to the liberals. When we get over this idea of even using the words public safety, I would love to see CCFR and the CSSA and the NFA here in Canada. I'd like to see all these groups get together on this issue and educate the Canadian people that it is nothing to do with public safety. It is a prelude to more totalitarianism. That's all it is. When a government is afraid of its own citizens, which the Liberals have clearly proven they are, given what happened with the truckers' convoy, when a government is afraid of its own citizens, that's a bad government. So I won't belabor this point. I wanted to get this out there because it's been bugging me. I keep hearing public safety and it just torques me because it has nothing to do with public safety. Clear? Once you realize what the underlying motivation for all this legislation is merely, like I said, a prelude to more totalitarian legislation and more control over your daily lives. So get that straight, put this out, tell people, forget the issue of public safety. Okay? So that's my little rant for the morning. Thank you, my fellow Canadians, and have a great day and keep a good thought. I think a new day is coming for Canada. God, I hope so, because we need it.